Hello, this is the Midday News. Thanks for joining us. Papua New Guinea will join the NRL as the 18th team from 2028. This announcement was made this morning by Prime Minister James Marape and Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in Sydney, Australia. PNG has been finally given the license to participate after months of conversation between Australia and the national government. The NRL's ambitious expansion will see the PNG team based in Port Moresby. However, security concerns were raised regarding security of the players. Prime Minister Marape, in response, highlighted that the players' safety is guaranteed with the recent security agreement signed between the two countries. The Australian federal government has invested $600 million over 10 years as a support package in this expansion.
20 years and see that this was a day where the relationship between our nations was cemented even further and strengthened from a very strong base that we have forged with our common history into a new level, because what this will do is make sure that all those who visit Port Moresby to watch their team play or just to watch a game in what will be a ground that has, dare I say it, a most extraordinary atmosphere compared with any ground in Australia.
Labour government gifted Papua New Guinea its sovereignty at 1975, and at the verge of our 50th anniversary next year, to have this team announced, and I want to appreciate the Australian Rugby League, Peter Vallenders and your commissioners. I want to appreciate National Rugby League, Andrew Abdo, and every one of you at the National Rugby League. And today, the decision made, all in all, not just by the two governments and the investments of time and money we put into this, but more importantly, by National Rugby League and the Australian Rugby League. To embrace a team from Papua New Guinea is a monumental decision that will stand into time as pivotal in the construct of anchoring PNG-Australia relationship and the Pacific relationship.
In Nuku District, West Sepik Province, the Sultongo Cooperative Society is making strides in agriculture with support from the EU-funded FAO Strait PNG program.
The cooperative, led by Chairman Wilkinson Wansana, has expanded its cocoa operations from 5 to 18 varieties, supported by training and resources like polybags and nurseries. 2 cocoa centers serve over 5,000 farmers across 2 local level government areas, with plans to produce 100,000 seedlings for international markets. Women under the cooperative, led by Chair Lady Priscilla Namtone, have taken on fisheries projects, constructing 2 fish ponds and raising red and black tilapia. They've also initiated poultry projects to diversify income sources. The District Agriculture and Livestock Office commenced the Strait program for transformative training in leadership and gender roles. These initiatives are fostering inclusive development and strengthening livelihoods across the district. A powerful example of how agricultural development is driving change in rural communities. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Education challenges in rural Papua New Guinea remain a pressing issue. At St. Francis Nuku Secondary School in the Nuku district, a young teacher is calling for urgent support to improve the school's resources and outcomes. The secondary school is serving students from across 4 local level government areas in Nuku district, offering limited subject strengths and struggles with resource shortages, staffing issues, and inadequate infrastructure. Teachers like Mr. Wani are doing their best to educate students under these conditions, but he says much more needs to be done to ensure quality education for rural students. Despite the challenges, there is hope. Support programs like Straight and ITU are already helping to bridge some gaps. However, it will take a collective effort from the government, communities and stakeholders to truly elevate rural education. Thousands of female workers at two of Australia's largest mining companies are expected to join in a class action lawsuit alleging systemic sexual harassment and discrimination. The suit contains shocking details of alleged abuse against women employed at remote mine sites operated by Rio Tinto and BHP.
Being urinated on by male colleagues, being groped, verbally abused, pressured for sex, or being told rape is not rape if you're passed out. They are just some of the horrific allegations of sexual assault that have come to light through class actions against Rio Tinto and BHP.
These women have been exposed to masturbation videos. They have been exposed to penises being flopped out in front of them. They have been exposed to men who drop their pants and defecate in front of them and then laugh about it. And there are women that have had spy cameras put into their rooms by certain men to watch them undress or shower.
This is what allegedly happened to Angela Green, who worked for BHP as an explosives expert at a Queensland mine site.
When she made the complaint, they locked the door behind her and they interrogated her about her sex life.
She was later terminated after refusing to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Angela is one of the few women who are willing to stand up individually to these companies and put their name out there.
The name of the lead applicants in the lawsuit, however, are suppressed due to safety concerns. One, a former security guard at Rio Tinto, the other was a machinery operator at BHP. They were both sacked.
They have endured sexual harassment every day whilst working at these companies.
Now, both companies have undergone widespread workplace cultural reviews, but still assaults continue. Just last month, Rio Tinto's progress report revealed 8 people reported actual or attempted sexual assault or rape in the past year, compared to 5 in 2021. 32 were pressured for sex.
We know that they're talking about the change because we're seeing backlash.
While BHP revealed there were 417 reports of sexual harassment in the last financial year.
All of those reports are deeply concerning. They are degrading and humiliating.
Both companies have apologised and say there is no place for sexual harassment in the workplace.
Labor has made an early election pitch to families promising to build or expand 160 early learning centres in the regions and outer suburbs. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has also committed to providing 3 days a week of subsidised childcare for all scraping the controversial activity test.
The election campaign hasn't begun, but it's never too early to hold a baby. The election pitch, though, is well underway.
This is the single biggest investment by an Australian government ever in new childcare services.
Labor pledging $1 billion fund to build or expand 160 early education centres.
That will bring the opportunity of early education to regions and suburbs that have been forgotten for too long.
The fund will aim to build more centres on the sites of existing schools and include maternal and child health facilities. The promises didn't stop there.
Under a re-elected Labor government, every family earning up to $530,000 will have access to the childcare subsidy for 3 days a week. Guaranteed.
Currently, families earning more than $83,000 a week only start getting a childcare subsidy if they meet the activity test. That's 4 hours of work or study each week. The more days the parent works or studies, the more hours of subsidised childcare they receive. But Labor says it will wind back the activity test from 2026.
What the activity test has done is locked out as many as 126,000 children from participating in early childhood early childhood education and care.
Labor says under the planned 33,000 families with an income of up to $100,000 will be better off, while it'll benefit another 27,000 families who earn between $100,000 and $300,000 a year.
We need more supply. All this is going to do is make it more difficult to access childcare.
Childcare will be a key part of Anthony Albanese's plan to be re-elected next year, with more to come on the issue. He wants a universal childcare system and will be hoping the extra money in parents' pockets will make a difference in a cost of living election.
In sports back home, Cricket PNG staff and players have petitioned the board to immediately sack the Chief Executive Officer of Cricket PNG, Richard Dunn, over allegations of malpractice and financial mismanagement. In a gathering at the home of Cricket, Amini Park, players and staff highlighted instances of alleged malpractice by the CEO.
Administrators C. Jong and Jack Vare were sacked yesterday morning from their roles with Cricket PNG. The sacking follows their involvement in petitioning for the resignation of Cricket PNG CEO Richard Dunn. Jong, who is a physiotherapist with Cricket PNG, alleged that John has been unprofessional in his role as the CEO, denying players, administrators and technical staff their benefits through malpractices and financial mismanagement. Jong said this has been ongoing since Dunn assumed office in 2022, stating instances of mismanagement. The sacked physiotherapist further pointed Dunn's failure in paying players their full dues while others missed out completely.
Side of malpractice, we've had two occasions where we missed our payroll. First occasion was alright. Second occasion, two of our accounting staff was sidelined, and they brought in two staff who have no official papers or no documentation or some accountant. So Pulimon came in and they did the payment for that payroll that was missed. A majority of us got paid a quarter of our pay without our knowledge and our permission, and the majority of the players did not get paid for from that transaction. A little while later on, all set him the rest, but they breached confidentiality when they brought in two staff who are not certified accountants to set up payroll for CPNG.
Jong said his involvement in petitioning Dunn to be terminated from his contract follows audit reports he received. It is further alleged that Dunn has been making payments into unknown bank accounts both in the country and abroad. An aggrieved Jong said this practice is not healthy for cricket and he will not relinquish his position until the administration provide a good explanation on the issue. Meanwhile, the CEO of Cricket PNG refused to comment on the allegations labelled against him, stating that the issue is before the Cricket PNG board for deliberation. Rex Lita, TVWAN Sports.
And that ends the news update. Join us at 6 tonight for our main news bulletin.
Whoever is doing this has similarities to the BTK killer. A Lifetime original movie.